Did you know that your organic produce that you are paying slightly more for every time you go to the grocery store may be treated with an invisible coating, an EPA registered fungicide on your organic produce? But you may not be able to tell the difference between one that's treated and one that's not treated. So today we're going to be talking about a company called Apeel Sciences, and they formulated a coating made of mono and diglycerides. And basically the main goal of this was to extend shelf life of fresh produce. Now it's not on every single fruit and vegetable, but it's on things like cucumbers, citrus, avocado, and even berries. And unfortunately, it's not even just in the United States. It is in different countries all over the world, yet not yet worldwide, although that was probably the goal. Now, before we get into the differences between Edipeel and Organipeel, leave in the comments if this is your first time hearing that organic produce are actually not completely clean. They are somewhat tainted, and they could be tainted even more. So let me know in the comments. I want to get a gauge in my audience of how many people are informed in this area. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Christy, and I have been professionally treating clients with treatment-resistant hyperpigmentation, acne, and anti-aging for over 18 years, and have done over 27,000 different treatments. Now, how I am a little bit different is I actually bring in a three-pronged approach where I use diet, supplements, as well as a customized treatment protocol for my clients without the use of topical medication. So let's get into it and talk about the difference between Organipeel and Edipeel. So just like it kind of sounds, Edipeel is formulated specifically for conventional grown produce, and Organipeel is for organic produce. Now, interesting enough, the Edipeel, which is for conventional produce, is not registered as a fungicide, but for the Organipeel, for organic produce, it is registered as an EPA registered fungicide. It is 0.66% of citric acid. The active ingredient in the Organipeel is citric acid, where for the conventional, the active ingredient is the mono and diglycerides. Now, what's interesting is in the active form, for conventional, it says it's the mono and diglycerides, where in the organic one, it says the inactive ingredients under the organic one is baking soda and mono and diglycerides. So what's interesting is, and I'm wondering, for those of you who are food scientists out there, can you answer for me, because I really don't know, how one ingredient that is categorized as inactive, or in chemistry, it's called the inert ingredient. And for those of you who are not familiar, inert basically means low reactivity. So why one of them under conventional, it's mono and diglyceride, but under the organic one, it's listed as an inactive ingredient. So that's interesting as far as the difference between organic. They're both treated with pretty much the same ingredients with the exception of the citric acid. So the purpose of both of them is for oxidation barrier and to basically prolong the shelf life. But in addition, with the organic produce, of the same purpose for it is, in addition to that, is the coating of the antimicrobial, which is the fungicide. So here is where the controversy is. The controversy is that they state that it is a food grade coating, but the sourcing of it is very opaque. It's kind of like duck and weave. They're not upfront fully on what exactly is in the ingredients and what it does for conventional. For organic, the whole side of it treating a fungicidal on an organic product has caused people who really know about organic products, it's causing some controversy. So guys, why is there all this controversy of a food grade coating on your produce simply formulated to extend the shelf life of your fresh produce? I mean, after all, they said that most of the ingredients on there are considered GRAS, generally recognized as safe. It is approved by the regulatory agencies such as the FDA and the EFSA, what could go wrong? And on their website, it also says on there that it can come off with just water and gentle rubbing or a vegetable brush. But in the previous website, it did say that it cannot be removed. It was formulated to be water repellent. And for those of you who understand even simple chemistry, you all know that oil breaks down oil, and it is a lipid-based food coating, so it's going to repel the water, right? It is hydrophobic, so it repels water. So the fact that they said it cannot be removed in the previous website to it can be washed off just gently, just using water and gentle rubbing is misinformation. Now, according to the FDA report, Apeel Sciences has actually said that this food ingredient derived from diglycerides from grapeseed is actually safe to consume up to 218 milligrams a day, which is equivalent to about 1/16 of a teaspoon. But here is the thing, if it is as benign as they say that it is, then why is it that the details of the manufacturing, what the residuals are opaque? It's not easy to find out. That's number one. Two is that when they first came out with Apeel, they made a big deal is look out for the Apeel sticker on the fruits and produce to removing all of the stickers so that labeling is optional. And three is why not offer consumers a choice? Why would you have to put this on every single produce? I mean, that was the goal so that they could extend the produce's shelf life. So this is what I mean about the company not being transparent. When I first did the video about what this was, this food grade coating was, I actually put a lot of links to specific pages on Apeel's website to give you more information, as well as a link that they had up that was a PDF copy of the FDA report submitted by Apeel of what exactly the manufacturing processes were and what was in the Apeel. That way, you can make an educated decision on whether this is something that you are okay consuming or this is absolutely something that you want to avoid. So, if you are interested in actually getting the FDA report, then I have created an email address that you can email and I will send you the FDA report and you can read it for yourself and you can become an educated consumer to decide this is something that you are okay with or some of you who are absolutely not okay with. This email list will not be sold to any marketers. It is a completely different email list from my business so that you can get this. You will not be marketed to, no ads, it's simply to request. Now to avoid spammers, if you can please put in the subject line, Apeel FDA Report Request or something like that. So we know that this is something that you want to have and read over yourself. So this is part of the reason why the hairs on the back of my neck go up, because it's what is it that they are trying to hide? And if this is your first time hearing about Apeel, put that in the comments as well. This lets me know who my audience is. Now, here are some tips that you can avoid buying this produce. So number one is talking to your local grocer and letting them know that you are not interested in purchasing products that are treated with Apeel. This has obviously worked because Trader Joe's, Costco, and Nature's Grocers have actually come out and said that they will no longer carry produce that has Apeel treated produce, or they're no longer going to carry it in the future. So it really has worked. If possible, number two is go to your local farmer's market, because you are actually, chances are, talking to the person that's actually growing the produce and actually look at the produce. A lot of times, the less they're treated, the more imperfect that they look. Now, if you are still confused of what the produce that's treated with Apeel looks like, I'll put a video right up here on how to tell if Apeel is, or your produce is treated with Apeel. Three is, of course, starts with you. Make sure that you're educated, that USDA organic may not necessarily mean that the produce that you're looking at is 100% clean, right? That it may be treated with a different form of insecticide or herbicide or fungicide or whatever it is. It's not completely straight from the seed to the produce without being 100% treated. So a lot of people think that when it's organic, it means just exactly that, that it is 100% untreated, and that is not so. Just to give you an example, if you take organic potatoes versus conventional potatoes and you leave them on the counter, the organic potatoes will sprout within a few days. The conventional ones are actually sprayed with an anti-sprouting chemical so that they last longer and they don't sprout. So that is just an example of this. Now, if you found this information helpful, or you know somebody who buys organic produce on a weekly basis, then please share it with them. Please give it a like and subscribe if you found this information helpful, because remember, makeup is an art, skincare is a science. We will see you in the next video.